Spoiler warning ahead if you have not watched Season 3, Episode 3, Mousetrap. What's going on, YouTube? You got Baby Clay Media and Reactions, and today I'm gonna break down Episode 3, Mousetrap up front for y'all and give my little bit of review on that too. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, or comment, cause I want to know how y'all felt about this episode too. Now here we go start off at Jim, aka the father of the year, psych, but nah. He answers the phone and Thomas is like, why you let mommy go, daddy? Didn't you love her, daddy? You shouldn't let Julie and Ethan play outside. It's about to get dark, daddy. And I'm just like, bro, are you not gonna ask who the hell this is? Like, Jim, grow some balls. Stop playing around. So then, after hearing the fake Thomas, and I think that kind of weirded Jim out, he went outside to actually get Julie and Ethan. But in the midst of him doing that, Boyd is around ringing the bell, giving everybody the warning sign like it's about to get dark, time to go home. Boyd is like, hey, Jim, you okay? And Jim is just like, I'm talking to my kids. So he gets Julie and Ethan in the house. And once he gets them in the house, he asks Boyd, hey, is everything getting worse here? And Boyd really didn't say anything, but the facial expression gave off yes. Now, once the scene changes over, we get the Henry and Tabitha experience. Tabitha is just waking up from being in the basement all night long. She really didn't have a chance to get any sleep. So I'm guessing she did a lot of investigating on the paintings that was in the basement. Now, when she's in the kitchen, she accidentally cuts her hand on a piece of glass. But as she's picking it up, she hears a bottle tree outside of Henry's house. Once we get to the bottle tree, it isn't the same as the bottle tree from Fromland. It doesn't have the hole in the middle so you can climb in and go wherever is destined for you to go. But she knows that this isn't the tree. But Henry says, okay, well, I know what the original tree is. It's a maybe 3 or 4 towns over. So if you get some sleep, once you get up, we can go. And Tabitha's just like, no, Henry, I need you to take me right now. And she's right. She should have had the right to say, let's go right now, especially when you're on an important journey or trying to figure out what's going on with your family back in Fromland. Let's not forget, the first bottle tree was the tree that Miranda and Henry went on the acid trip. And once we get to my boy Victor Pacino, he ain't doing nothing but the usual, just measuring the trees. It's probably to find something that was hidden, but we'll get to that later. Once we're finished with Victor, we skip over to Boyd, Donna, and Ellis, and they're discussing the plan on how they're going to capture a monster. But Ellis isn't digging it, neither is Donna. But while Boyd is very adamant on catching a monster, Donna isn't having it. Donna's trying to talk him down and out of the plan because not only does she not want to see Boyd die, she doesn't want to see Ellis die as well, knowing the fact he has a baby on the way. And we finally get to the Fatima experience and what's going on with her or the monster baby. So she sees Clara, and Clara is cooking a cow, which I think is the cow that was killed in episode 1. But Fatima doesn't want it. She's like, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go to this rotten vegetable hill, and that's what I'm going to eat. And that's exactly what she does. She goes out, she sees the rotten vegetables, and she starts to dig in. But guess who shows up? Tilly, aka show up at the right time every time. Next up, we got Jade, Kenny Wick, and Christy, accompanied by Dale and Roger and some other folks of the colony house. And they're, on a little adventure to get food. But once they get there, Dale and Jade notice the totem statues sitting outside of the cabin huts. So Jade is like, maybe they've been using these totems like we've been using talisman, like keeping the evil away. And next up, we got this, but I'm not even gonna comment or break this down. I'm just gonna show it to y'all because it's hilarious.
Some lunch. You want some? No. All right.
Who's gonna bury her?
What?
Who's gonna bury Mom?
Don't talk like that.
But what if her body just lay out there on the ground with bugs and spiders? Will her body just lay there till it starts to rot?
Ethan?
What if someone finds her someday and they don't know who she is because all they find is bones?
Stop!
I'm sorry. Honestly, did not mean to laugh that hard during the taping of the video, and sorry for the quality, but the shit was hilarious. I'm sorry. And once we switch over back to Boyd, we see that Boyd is doing something so he can remember the deceased, like Father Khatri, LIT, and Chin. But Father Khatri is on a whole different type of conversation. He wants to talk about the plan that Boyd has and how he might fail. He goes to say, Boyd is right in front of you. This place wants to break you. And the Boyd I knew wouldn't do something as stupid as far as catching a monster. The next time we see Victor, he's at Sarah's house. He's knocking on the door with some luggage. And Sarah answers it like, hey, you okay? You want to come in? And you know how Victor is. Victor is all like, yeah. But once he gets inside, he asks Sarah, hey, do you got some bedspreads? I want to build a fort because I'm about to tell a story. Holy moly. And when we see Fatima and Tilly the next time, she's having a conversation with Tilly. She's actually vetting the Tilly because Tilly told her, hey, I used to eat eggshells when I was first pregnant, so you don't be alone. Don't be alone. Basically, Fatima is scared for the baby. She's also scared herself, and she doesn't want Ellis down because she says Ellis is finally happy. But when she asks, how do I know or how do I find out that my baby is okay? Tilly said, come on, let's find out if your baby is all right. Tilly, I don't buy it. When we actually get back to Henry and Tabitha, they're in the car on the way to the original Bottle Tree. And Joni Mitchell's song Blue, which is a very nice song, by the way, comes on, and Henry says this was Miranda's favorite song. It never left the tape deck. And once we get back to Jade, we see that Jade is drinking. He's just trying to forget. He doesn't want any more visions. But Dale is over there yapping his mouth, saying how much he should come help, and that he's not the only one going through things. But Jade is like, hey man, if you want to whisper, you should try to whisper. But Jade gets agitated with Dale, and then he uses the bathroom. But once he uses the bathroom, he sees 3 red boulders. And then he sees someone, in my opinion, I think is Christopher. Jade is basically losing his mental at this point. He just saw Christopher, and now he wants to leave. He wants to go back into town. He doesn't feel like the woods are safe for him to be in. By the midst of this, Kenny is telling him, hey man, you're not going to make it back in time enough. We have cabin huts here, and we're going to be safe here. But Jade doesn't listen. He still runs away. And while he's running away, Christy is right behind him. Christy full sprints towards Jade, not knowing and unaware of the bear trap that's right in front of her. So once she gets stuck in the bear trap, Jade wants to help. He no longer wants to go into town anymore. So when he does try to help, Kenny won't let him. He's basically blaming Jade for what just happened, looking for something that could have more leverage to pop the bear trap open. Jade does an unexpected thing, which I think is a bad idea. He goes to the totem and gets one of the bars that's holding up the totem, and the totem falls down. But this is the only thing that could give leverage to the bear trap to release Christy. Once they get the bars to get the leverage to get Christy out of the bear trap, Jade has another vision on who I believe is to be Christopher. But this time, Christopher is drinking out of a skull. But they were still able to get Christy out of the bear trap, and I'm guessing they're headed to the hut for safety. Now, once we get back to Frumland, we see Boyd and Bacta having a conversation. Boyd is asking Bacta, how do you feel? And she's a little confused because she doesn't know how a riddle that her grandmother told her was able to get to this place. And Boyd is saying, hey, no matter what, we will win. No matter what things this place will throw at us, we will eventually go home. But Ethan is just like, I don't think you'll know we'll go home. I think you just hope we'll go home. The next time we actually see Fatima and Tilly wants to do a tarot card reading on Fatima. But Fatima is like, you're joking. You can't be serious. You're trying to see if my baby is healthy through a reading? And Tilly is just like, hey, young lady, I came to this place and a lot of crazy shit has happened. So you mean to tell me you wouldn't accept a tarot card reading? Come on. Tilly sits Fatima down and they actually start the reading. But once she flips the card over, the crows start coming to the window. And hell, one made it inside of the house while she was trying to do the tarot card reading. Shouts out to Taran Matharu, because he was the one that said this show will have some type of tarot card reading. So shouts out to Taran. I dropped the link in the description to his page. Before Boyd gets onto the bus to try to talk to Randall, Randall is having some sort of vision of cicadas while on the bus. But Boyd asks him, hey, do you want to trade for the night? Because I want the bus so I can see what these monsters do at night when we don't look. When we see Henry and Tabitha again, they're actually on the way to the bottle tree. But on the way there, Tabitha gets a little hungry, so she wants a snack. When she reaches in the glove compartment, she sees the bracelet that she made for Jim. Now Henry's like, yeah, Miranda made me that bracelet. So Tabitha goes completely insane, asking if this is real. At this point, she's lost and she's confused because she doesn't know if she's in the real world or still in this game that Frumland is playing. At this point, Tabitha just wants to get out the car, but she doesn't know when or if she gets out the car, will the game start over? What will happen? But Henry is very adamant about going to the bottle tree, so he tries to speed off. When he does, he gets struck by a car from the side. Once they get hit, we see Tabitha, Henry, and a couple of new Frumland members on the way to the hospital, not knowing they were on the way back to Frumland. Because once the driver makes a turn, he sees a tree. And you already know what that tree represents. Now, I got my thoughts and my theories on this episode for sure. But this video would be like an hour long if that was the case. The only thing I was expecting out of this episode was that if the phone rang again, I didn't understand why Jim didn't ask the questions that he wanted to ask in season 2. Like, you have someone on the phone pretending to be your son. Brother, ask questions, brother, please. And Tilly, to me, has always been suspect. I'm not sure if she's there for the good of the town or for the bad of the town, but she definitely knows something, because she came into town with these tarot cards. I thought that she was going to find a deck in the colony house. This changes things. And to be honest, I thought the bracelet was going to be in one of the bottles in the bottle tree. But knowing the fact it was in Henry's car, this changes things majorly. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Make sure you leave a like and comment, because I definitely want to know how y'all felt about this week's episode. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'ma holla. Peace.